year 2100 feels distant, almost unreal. But every massive shift in human history always begins quietly. In demographics, in economics, in climate, in technology. AI was asked a simple question: who will lead the world by the end of this century? To answer that, it analyzed 7 major indicators: economic growth potential, population and demographic strength, technological and scientific development, military influence, natural resources, geopolitical stability, and environmental resilience. After processing millions of data points, simulations, and long-term forecasts, AI produced a list of 10 nations that could shape the world in 2100. Let's begin from the bottom. 10. Nigeria, the demographic supernova. Nigeria's rise in 2100 is driven by one powerful force: a massive young population. By the end of the century, Nigeria is projected to become the 3rd largest country on Earth, with one of the youngest workforces worldwide. While other nations age, Nigeria grows stronger, creating a giant pool of talent in a booming consumer market. Lagos evolves into a high-tech African megacity, a center for fintech, digital payments, and entertainment. Nollywood and Afrobeats grow into global cultural exports, making Nigeria the creative heartbeat of the continent. Beneath the soil, Nigeria holds enormous resource advantages: oil, gas, minerals, and some of Africa's richest energy reserves. Combined with rapid adoption of mobile technology and green energy, Nigeria gains leverage not only in Africa, but in the global energy market. Nigeria's future still depends on political stability, education, and infrastructure. But if those elements align, Nigeria becomes the rising engine of Africa, a demographic and resource-powered supernova shaping the world by 2100. Russia, the Arctic gatekeeper. Russia's future power doesn't come from population growth or economic size, but from geography and resources. As the Arctic continues to warm, a new shipping corridor opens above the Northern Hemisphere, a route that cuts travel between Europe and Asia almost in half, and no country controls more of that frozen gateway than Russia. By 2100, the Arctic becomes a strategic lifeline, and Russia becomes its gatekeeper. Beneath Siberia's ice lie some of the world's largest untapped reserves of oil, natural gas, rare earth minerals, and metals essential for future technologies. These resources give Russia long-term leverage over global energy and manufacturing supply chains. Militarily, Russia remains influential, a nuclear superpower with advanced aerospace systems, cyber capabilities, and control over vast land borders reaching Europe, Asia, and the Arctic. By mid-century, Russia also begins shifting from fossil fuels toward nuclear technology, hydrogen energy, and Arctic renewables, creating new economic directions as the world moves away from oil. But Russia's rise hinges on one challenge: stability. Its political trajectory, international relations, and economic diversification will determine whether it becomes a renewed powerhouse or remains constrained by global tensions. If Russia successfully adapts, it stands as the Arctic superpower of 2100, shaping trade routes, energy flows, and the geopolitics of an entirely new northern world. 8. Japan, the last samurai of innovation. Japan enters 2100 not with a large population, but with a highly engineered society built to survive without one. While much of the world struggles with aging, Japan transforms demographic decline into its greatest catalyst, pushing deeper into automation, robotics, and AI than any nation on Earth. Factories become fully automated ecosystems. Hospitals rely on robot caregivers. Public transport, logistics, and urban services run with near-zero human labor. Tokyo evolves into a shining symbol of Society 5.0, where physical and digital life merge seamlessly. Smart buildings self-regulate energy, autonomous taxis flood the streets, and AI companions assist the elderly in everyday routines. Japan remains a global leader in advanced microchips, sensor technology, robotics engineering, and precision manufacturing. Industries critical to every AI system, drone, EV, and quantum device of the future. Culturally, Japan continues to shape the world through anime, gaming, design, and minimalistic aesthetics. Soft power that quietly influences global trends. Its challenge is clear: a shrinking population and limited immigration. But Japan survives not by growing, but by reinventing the definition of a modern nation. A place where innovation fills every gap, efficiency replaces size, and technology becomes the backbone of society. By 2100, Japan stands as the ultra-automated powerhouse of Asia, a small nation with an outsized impact on how the future works, moves, and thinks. 7. Brazil, the green powerhouse. Brazil's power in 2100 comes from one thing the world cannot replace: the Amazon. As climate change reshapes the planet, the Amazon becomes the Earth's most valuable environmental asset. A giant carbon absorber, a freshwater reservoir, and a center of global biodiversity. This gives Brazil a unique form of influence: environmental leverage. By the late 21st century, Brazil also stands as a global supplier of sustainable biofuels, clean energy, advanced agriculture, and biological resources used in future medicine and biotech. São Paulo and Rio evolve into interconnected mega-regions, hubs of finance, agri-tech, and eco-engineering. And beyond its environmental and economic rise, Brazil continues shaping global culture through its greatest universal export: football. Even in 2100, Brazil remains a talent factory. Its youth academies produce players who redefine the sport, and its football culture continues to influence tactics, training systems, and global fan culture. The challenge remains political stability and environmental governance. But if Brazil protects the Amazon and strengthens its institutions, it becomes the green superpower of the 22nd century, a nation whose resources, culture, and environmental influence help shape the future of the planet. 6. Indonesia, the archipelago at the center of the world. Indonesia's rise toward 2100 begins with a simple truth: it sits at the center of the world's trade. As global shipping intensifies, the sea lanes that cut through Indonesia, the Alki routes connecting the Indian and Pacific Oceans, become some of the most important waterways on the planet. Whoever controls these routes influences global commerce. But Indonesia's strength is not just location, it's people. One of the world's largest populations, young, growing, and increasingly middle class. By 2100, Indonesia becomes a massive consumer market and a major source of skilled labor in the Asian century. The nation holds enormous mineral reserves: nickel, bauxite, copper, critical for EV batteries, AI hardware, and green technology. This gives Indonesia powerful leverage in the global energy transition. Jakarta, Surabaya, and the new capital Nusantara evolve into dense, green, tech-driven urban centers. Nusantara, once a bold experiment, becomes a model for future jungle cities. Low-emission, AI-managed, and powered by renewable energy. Indonesia's digital economy explodes as millions enter online commerce, fintech, and creative industries. The country transforms into Southeast Asia's innovation hub, connecting the economic giants of India, China, and the wider Indo-Pacific. The challenge remains climate resilience and infrastructure. But if Indonesia strengthens sustainability and regional leadership, it becomes the maritime and economic powerhouse of the 22nd century. A nation positioned not on the sidelines, but right in the center of the global future. 5. For the European Union, the last fortress of stability. If the European Union remains united through the 21st century, it becomes something the world has rarely seen: a continental superpower built on stability rather than dominance. By 2100, the EU combines the economic weight of Germany and France, the technological innovation of the Nordics, the cultural power of Southern Europe, and the industrial backbone of Central Europe, forming a single coordinated mega-economy. While other regions battle demographic decline, Europe adapts through advanced automation, skilled migration, and strong social systems. Its cities, Berlin, Paris, Amsterdam, Copenhagen, Milan, lead the world in green infrastructure, clean transport, and sustainable urban living. The EU becomes the global center of environmental policy, setting carbon standards, regulating AI ethics, and controlling vast renewable energy networks across the continent. Its laws influence global tech, commerce, and human rights, often becoming the blueprint for other nations. In science, Europe remains a powerhouse, leading in aerospace, advanced materials, precision engineering, and medical research. Institutions like CERN and ESA push the boundaries of physics and space exploration. Politically, the EU shapes world affairs through diplomacy, not military might. Its strength comes from alliances, trade networks, and the ability to set rules that others follow. Yet its greatest challenge is unity. Cultural differences, nationalism, and economic gaps threaten cohesion. But if Europe continues to collaborate and moves toward deeper integration, it becomes the world's most stable and policy-driven superpower in 2100, a fortress of innovation, sustainability, and global governance. Foreign India, the population engine of the future. India enters 2100 with one of the most powerful advantages any nation can have: a massive young population. As many countries shrink in age, India becomes the world's largest reservoir of working-age talent, fueling rapid economic expansion and making it one of the biggest consumer markets on Earth. India transforms into a global technology hub. Its universities and tech cities, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Pune, produce millions of engineers who shape the world's software, AI systems, quantum computing research, and cybersecurity networks. Fintech adoption skyrockets. India leads the world in digital payments, low-cost innovation, and scalable tech solutions that reach billions. Its massive competitive startup ecosystem spawns future global giants. In space exploration, ISRO evolves into a top-tier space agency, launching affordable missions, building lunar infrastructure, and partnering with global explorers to push deeper into the solar system. Economically, India's growth accelerates as manufacturing expands and the economy shifts toward advanced industries. Its influence spreads across the Indo-Pacific, Africa, and the Middle East, positioning India as a central player in future geopolitics. Challenges remain: urban congestion, inequality, and the need for stronger infrastructure. But if India continues to reform and innovate, it becomes the engine of the global economy by 2100, a vibrant, dynamic superpower fueled by talent, technology, and ambition. United States, the innovation empire. The United States enters the year 2100 with a strength few nations can match. Not population, not land, not resources, but innovation. For decades, the U.S. has been home to the world's most influential tech giants, universities, and research labs. By 2100, this advantage becomes even more dominant. America leads breakthroughs in AI, biotechnology, quantum computing, aerospace, and advanced robotics, pushing the boundaries of human achievement. Silicon Valley evolves into a continent of its own, a sprawling network of tech corridors stretching from California to Texas to the East Coast. Startups rise and fall at lightning speed, but the culture of invention never fades. Militarily, the United States maintains the world's most powerful defense network, supported by AI-driven systems, global bases, and alliances across Europe and the Indo-Pacific. Its influence is amplified not just through force, but through diplomacy and partnerships that shape global rules and standards. Culturally, the U.S. remains unmatched. Hollywood, music, gaming, sports. American soft power continues to define global entertainment and youth culture, projecting influence far beyond its borders. Economically, America's strength comes from its ability to reinvent itself. Even during periods of political division or economic slowdown, the U.S. consistently produces new industries, new technologies, and new opportunities. Its challenges are real: polarization, inequality, and competition from rising powers. But if the U.S. maintains its spirit of creativity and openness, it remains the innovation empire of the 22nd century, a nation whose ideas, technologies, and culture continue shaping how the world dreams, works, and lives. 2. China, the architect of the new century. China enters 2100 as one of the most transformative forces on the planet, a nation that reshaped global economics, technology, and geopolitics faster than almost any country in history. By the late 21st century, China remains a manufacturing titan, but it evolves into something greater, a leader in AI systems, green technology, advanced robotics, high-speed rail, and megacity engineering. Its factories become hyper-automated ecosystems capable of producing everything from quantum chips to fusion components. China's vast urban centers, Shanghai, Shenzhen, Beijing, Chengdu, expand into futuristic megaregions connected by magnetic levitation rail and AI-managed infrastructure. Smart cities become the foundation of daily life, with real-time traffic control, digital governance, and environmental sensors woven into every street. Through the Belt and Road Network, China builds ports, power grids, highways, and digital corridors across Asia, Africa, and Eastern Europe, creating a web of economic influence that lasts well into 2100. Its reach is not always through military might, but through infrastructure and long-term strategic projects. Technologically, China becomes a powerhouse in solar and renewable energy, AI surveillance and security systems, robotics and automation, electric vehicles and batteries, and lunar exploration programs that rival global competitors. But its rise is not without challenges. An aging population, regional competition, and geopolitical tensions with Western powers shape China's path forward. Yet if China adapts by strengthening innovation, expanding global partnerships, and managing demographic shifts, it stands as the architect of the 22nd century, a nation whose scale, ambition, and technological reach define the next phase of global civilization. The United Africa Confederation, the wildcard superpower the world isn't ready for. AI's boldest prediction for the year 2100 is not a single country, but an entire continent united. The United Africa Confederation is a scenario where African nations form a powerful economic and political union, similar to a larger, more integrated version of the European Union. If this happens, the numbers are staggering. By 2100, the Confederation would represent over 2 billion people, making it the world's largest workforce and one of its fastest-growing consumer markets. While many regions age, Africa remains young, a massive engine of talent, energy, and innovation. Africa holds some of the richest deposits of rare earth minerals, the metals needed for AI chips, electric vehicles, quantum hardware, and green technologies. It becomes one of the most important suppliers in the global tech economy. Solar-rich regions across the Sahara in East Africa evolve into gigantic renewable energy zones, sending clean power across the continent and beyond. Cities like Nairobi, Lagos, Addis Ababa, and Johannesburg expand into high-tech megahubs, centers of fintech, agriculture technology, creative industries, and advanced manufacturing. Culturally, Africa becomes a global powerhouse, influencing music, fashion, art, and storytelling at a scale never seen before. But the real strength of the United Africa Confederation lies in integration, shared currency, interconnected infrastructure, open markets, and collective security. Together, these turn the continent into a stable, unified mega-economy. The challenge is immense. Political unity, governance, and regional conflict must be resolved for this future to happen. But if Africa succeeds, it becomes the unexpected superpower of the 22nd century, a rising force built not through conquest but through cooperation, population strength, and untapped potential finally unleashed. Closing the future will always be uncertain. But one thing is clear, these countries are shaping the world we're heading toward. Which prediction surprised you the most? And which nation do you think will dominate in 2100? Tell us in the comments. And if you want more AI-powered future predictions, make sure to like, subscribe, and join us in the next exploration. The future is coming. Let's imagine it together.